Duryodhana wanted to build an equally good assembly hall for the game of dice. So he hired the local artist and built a horribly garish hall, trying to make it very beautiful. He made it so garish, even his own brothers did not like the hall, though they were very poor taste. But he was so eager to impress, he did not want to have the game of dice in the old palace, he wanted a new hall. So they built their hall, got things ready, but the Pandavas, one mistake they did was Krishna had gone back to Dwaraka, they never bothered to inform him. They came here by themselves, because after all they're visiting their brothers. But the game of dice came. The Pandavas sat down. Only Yudhishthira plays. And when they sat down, in the full assembly of the court, the audience, to watch the game, Duryodhana came and sat down, but away from the dice board. People looked in little bit of surprise, and Duryodhana announced, "Shakuni, my uncle, will play for me." A gasp went up in the assembly, because everybody knew Shakuni was an uncanny player of dice. All the time, this is all he's doing, and they know, everybody knows their occult-charged dice that he carries. People spoke to each other, "This is not fair. Yudhishthira won't last, he will lose." So Yudhishthira said, "I thought I was playing with you." So Duryodhana said, "Why, brother, why are you afraid? My uncle is playing for me, what is the problem? We are blood." "Why? Have you lost your courage?" Yudhishthira said, "No, it's okay, we'll play." So, it started. What are you going to… what are you going to… what's the wager? Okay, this many elephants, this many horses, this, that. Every time Shakuni rolled, he got what he wanted. Every time he said, "Okay, I won. Every time the roll of dice was heard, the blind king, Dhritarashtra, is having Sanjaya, his assistant, next to him, who is giving him a commentary of the game. Every time he hears the dice, "Who won?" That's all he asks. This one thing he could not contain, that when the dice rolled, he wants to know who won. Every time Shakuni won, Shakuni won, Shakuni won, Yudhishthira lost all his wealth, everything in the treasury, he lost his army. Then it came down, he took down his personal jewels, all his brothers took down their personal whatever ornaments they were wearing. These ornaments are not valued for their money value, they're valued as their prestige. So it's almost like dismantling everything that they are. Then everything is lost. He wagered the kingdom, lost it. People were looking at it in dismay. Bhishma stood up and said, "Stop the game." Duryodhana shouted him down, "It's not for you to stop the game." He told, "Father, you cannot stop the game. This is a fair game we are playing. As per the dharma of the Kshatriyas, we are playing the game. Nobody can stop the game. If Yudhishthira is afraid of playing the game, he may leave. Nobody else can stop the game." Yudhishthira is not afraid of anything. He knows how to walk into any trap in the world. A man like that is not afraid. he lost the kingdom. Then Shakuni taunted, I'll give you one more chance. Your brother Nakula, you put him on the wager, you can win back your kingdom and everything. He wagered, Nakula lost. Then he lost Sahadeva. Then he lost Arjuna. Then finally he lost Bhima. So this is your chance, Yudhishthira, you put yourself on the wager and you can win back everything, we'll give back everything to you. He rolled the dice, lost himself. Then the Kauravas roared in joy. Pandavas are our slaves now. They have to take instructions from us. Take off your upper garment. The symbolism of slavery is, a slave cannot wear an upper garment. So they took down their upper garments. All the brothers stood in shame. They were kings just 15 minutes ago. Now they stood there, partially disrobed, as slaves, not knowing what to do next. Then Karna suggested, why you can wager your wife, your queen. Draupadi was not there in the court. That was the time of the month for her, so she was in private quarters. They tempted him. This is your chance, you can win back your brothers, your kingdom and everything. Your queen versus the rest. If you win, you take everything and go. You will win, of course, this is your lucky time. He wagered his wife, lost. Immediately, Duryodhana roared like a lion. He said, Draupadi, she is our slave, go bring her. They sent a messenger. A male messenger was not allowed into the queen's chambers, particularly when she was the way she was. When he was turned back, Duryodhana told his brother, Dushasana, he said, go, just get her. Who is she to say whether she can come or not come? Just go get her. Dushasana went, broke the doors open, went inside and said, come. When Draupadi said, how dare you walk into my room, he just caught her by the hair and dragged her. Her clothes were stained in blood. She said, I am in a single garment and I'm in this condition, how can you touch me and how can you take me like this? He said, you are our slave, it doesn't matter what. And he just dragged her through the corridors of the palace held by hair and brought her and put her down in the king's court. A few people stood up and said, this is not dharma. Never before in the court of a king, a woman has been treated like this. But Duryodhana said, this is the law, she is a slave, I can treat her whichever way I want. Draupadi sat up in rage and pleaded with Bhishma. Bhishma just put his head down and Draupadi asked a question. Did Yudhishthira wager me first or himself first? They said Yudhishthira wagered himself first. Then she said, he has no right to wager me, he's already a slave, he's lost himself. How can he put me on the stake? Then this question was raised and Bhishma, being the ultimate judge of all these dharmas, he was asked, now that Yudhishthira had already lost himself, can he lose his wife? Bhishma gravely said, he's such an expert in law. He said, according to the dharma, even a slave has right over his wife. So as a slave, he's wagered her. So it is still technically correct. So the law, which was for the well-being of the human being, became technical to a point where humanity was lost, legality was established. The cruelest scene that you could see happened right there. And as if this was not enough, they started taunting her. According to the ancient law, if a king or a kshatriya had no children, the woman could bear children from other men up to 3. That's the reason why Kunti stopped at 3. The law is, with her husband's permission, she can bear children with 3 more men if she had the permission of the husband. But if she went to the 5th man, she is considered a whore. So Karna said, she is gone to the 5 men, she is living with 5 men. She is not a wife, she is a whore. We can do whatever we want with her. And he told Draupadi, why 5? Now you have 100 brothers to take. And Duryodhana said, come Panchali, sit on my lap. Bhima roared. He said, today you said, you pointed at your thigh and asked Panchali to sit here. One day I will break your thigh, I will smash your thigh and kill you. Then they said, okay, we will talk about killing later. Right now disrobe the woman. Dushasana went to pull the clothes. Then, at this moment, what was mild turned wild. What was civilized became brutal. Gentlemen turned into beasts, those who witnessed this moment. Draupadi, who was helpless, turned into rage. And Krishna, as he had promised Draupadi, at that moment ensured that she was not disrobed in his own way. And when they saw this miracle happening, that even though their intentions were to go all the way, they could not. Dhritarashtra, his heart was seized by fear. For the first time, he spoke and he said, the game is over and everybody gets back what they had before the game. Yudhishthira is still the king of Indraprastha, let them go back in honor. Duryodhana, Karna, Dushasana and all their clan were very, very angry. Duryodhana left the Sabha. So Pandavas got back everything, their kingdom, their freedom, their wealth, but with a huge burden of shame on their head. They put their heads down and started walking towards Indraprastha. But once again, Shakuni and Karna and Duryodhana sat down and said, they got Dhritarashtra into a corner and they said, this is not fair. We have to invite them for one more game, just one more. With this game, we will not do anything like this, otherwise this is not fair. What was a fair game, you turned it into an unfair result. Now the game is just this, if they win, we will go to the forest, they can have the whole empire. If they lose, they must go to the forest for 12 years and live incognito for 1 more year. After 13 years, anyway they can have their kingdom back. But there must be some kind of prize for the game we played. We are not taking it away, we'll keep their kingdom well till they come back. Dhritarashtra once again showed who he is. and called the Pandavas back. Messengers went to call them back. The brothers, all the four of them in unison said, "No." But Yudhishthira said, "This is my dharma, they're calling me back." And he went back. Obviously, he lost the game and they gave up their king's clothes, wore simple garment and left for the forest. And all the brothers took the vow, all the four at least, that they will kill every Kaurava. But Bhima said, "No, it's my thing. I'm going to kill every one of them, 100 of them."